Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks to the board. I'm Justin Kover, and I have 3 reasons this Critical Zones Ordinance is bad policy for our county. This past Tuesday, President Obama ordered a government-wide review of regulations that strangle business, and this ordinance is certainly a job-killing ordinance. I know a local man who has a landscaping business, and that gentleman has wanted to extend his shop for 2 years so he can take on more business and hire at least 2 more workers. He'd been required by this county to pay an impact fee of over $30,000. This prices him out of the market, costing him, his family, even this very county, revenues that would help us in these hard times. The Walmarts and other large corporations from outside our community can afford these impact fees, but the little guy that Democrats like us are here to stand for is left out in the cold. This ordinance adds insult to injury by taxing our working families and small businesses even harder, treating a friend of mine in Yelm with a horse pasture the same as an out-of-state developer. The second reason that this ordinance is based on questionable science. The history of government intervention in our local government is one of well-intentioned mistakes. As a member of the Nisqually tribe, I've been blessed to be taught a history of our home that most people in this community are not yet exposed to. I know that we once had a prairie that extended from Frank's Landing to Yelm to Puyallup and beyond. I've spoken to our commissioners before about how in the days before pioneers, my tribe would set fire to the prairie in order to maintain that habitat. The confluence of environmentalists, government, and business resulted in the destruction of the prairie as trees were planted throughout Thurston County. A few generations later, ecologists and environmentalists are now making a new assumption. Now that the prairie is forest, we make laws ostensibly to protect the prairie that is now forest, but in actuality, to use the character of the land as an excuse to exert more control over a citizen's private property where the prairie once existed. Which brings me to my third reason, which is this ordinance unnecessarily limits the liberal freedom of tax-paying homeowners in the name of science that is likely soon to be obsolete. A generation ago, the state of Washington limited the freedom of the Nisqually tribe based on the best science available, saying that a moratorium of all salmon fishing was required. The tribe had to agitate for decades until their treaty rights were enforced by the federal government, and today, the fish runs in Nisqually are revived, and the tribe is an authority on salmon farming. Here is a model where federal, state, and local authorities cooperated to steward our natural resources while also respecting the rights of all parties. The Critical Zones Ordinance is a model where the rights of tax-paying homeowners are encumbered. So to sum up, this ordinance is a job-killing ordinance based on science that will soon be obsolete and encumbers the property rights of tax-paying homeowners while big corporate developers can buy their way in. That is what has engendered so much passion in me to oppose this since 2009. I beseech this board to look to history for models that will steward our environment, promote business, and respect the rights of all of our citizens. Thank you very much.